Hi, everyone, and welcome back to What You Need to H2Know, the podcast where we dive into the people, projects, and passion behind Ontario's water sector. I'm your host, Michelle Grenier, Executive Director of the OWWA. And today I am thrilled to be joined by someone whose calm leadership and deep municipal experience has made a real impact in our association, Scott Tam, the current past president of OWWA and the Director of Infrastructure and Growth for the City of Timmins. Scott has worn a lot of different hats over the years: engineer, mentor, community builder, and I can't wait to talk to him about his journey, his thoughts on the future of the industry, and what it means to lead from Northern Ontario. Welcome, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I've had a chance to work with you over the last couple of years on the board, and it's been a pleasure. And I would love to have our chat today as an opportunity for you to share a little bit more about your water journey. And so let's start at the beginning. Can you tell our listeners how you first got involved in the water sector and what brought you to the City of Timmins?
So, how I first got involved in the water sector in the City of Timmins was there's a position that opened up at the City of Timmins. They were having issues with their environmental programming, their compliance issues, and at that time they were really struggling with their water quality objectives. So then that posting came up. I that point left my provincial government job and then transitioned over into the municipality. And then basically from there, it never had an opportunity to look back and just rolled from that point on. So yeah, so got involved with the water treatment side of things right away. Um, Understood the operational side of things, but what really got me involved with the OWWA was attending my first provincial conference. So actually, that dates back probably to 2013. Um, Met a few individuals, established some contacts, um, and didn't go back to the immediate conference right after, but then a couple of years later went back to the next conference, and then at that reconnected with those individuals I made contact with, and then slowly got convinced to be more involved within the association, and that's how I got onto the Source Water Protection Committee. Participated in that, eventually chaired that committee, and then worked my way up to be elected to the board.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so you've been with the City of Timmins for quite a few years now. What are some of the unique challenges and opportunities that you've experienced managing water services in a northern municipality?
So at the time, some of the challenges would be the remoteness of being connected. I think at the time there used to be like that physical barrier where being away from Southern Ontario was the disconnect of information. The way technology has advanced over time, the ease of transferring and sharing of information has come a long ways. Um, Again, individuals, especially when it comes down to the suppliers and the sales folks and whatnot, they are covering a lot of ground and they're sharing a lot of the technical advancements within the industry. And again, with that being said too, with technology advancements, like we've been able to share um, a lot of the experiences across the board within the industry with other municipalities. Everything else is a lot easier than it was before. Before it was, I guess everybody perceived it as a task where you had to physically pick up a phone, call individuals you knew, or even try to figure out who to contact if they come across certain scenarios and all that stuff. So I think now with the way technology is and the ease of it now, and it's second nature for individuals to easily make contact, establish contact, figure out how to address things and not be shy to get out there and be like, hey, how do we address the same issues we all have addressed before?
I have a follow-up here for you in terms of the the economy in Timmins being so linked to the mining sector. Do you find there's any unique opportunities or sort of barriers there where the sort of the stop-start nature of that industry and infrastructure planning?
I think some of the barriers that we see in the north would be, again, maybe the remoteness and a little bit of the geographic distance from a lot of the hubs. So that does pose somewhat of a barrier to Northern Ontario, but that's slowly changing. We're seeing an opportunity for growth in the north, opportunities and for innovation. So there's no one's being shy from being innovative and thinking outside the box, and that's what's really driving a lot of development, a lot of expansion, especially in the industries, mining industry, and even how the municipality operates. So
Okay, well, I think should be an interesting space in the next couple of years.
yeah.
So if we go back a little bit, how you first got involved with OWWA. So I think a lot of people have a similar experience where they come to the conference and all of a sudden understand how big the network is. But thinking back to some of your committee work as a volunteer with OWWA, what are some of your best experiences or favorite memories from before you joined the board?
The best experiences and memories were establishing the contacts with similar individuals, right? A lot of individuals coming into the industry. Again, you don't know, your network's small, like you mentioned, and then you expand on that network, and then you get involved. And yes, there's some social aspect out there as well, but there's also that technical learning that happens. So I think once you meet and have an opportunity to network with individuals with similar interests, it just builds from there, and it builds quickly, and then like it exponentially happens on a daily basis during the whole duration of the conference. So that's probably the most enjoyable part for me, is expanding that network, and then further along, being on the board, it was fun to connect with everybody within the industry. I really valued that the most, having an opportunity to chat with people, just making a presence and having an impact on someone's career path at some point, either good or bad.
I'm sure it's been more good than bad.
Yeah.
Uh, so thinking about your leadership role within OWWA. So for a lot of our listeners, they may not know what the progression on the board is. And so I'll take a minute here and so you did your first 3 years as a director on the board, and then you actually got accelerated onto the executive because of some other changes we had within the leadership at OWWA. So you had 4 years as a director, culminating in your term as president, and then you served as president, and now you're just starting your first year as past president. What has that leadership experience meant to you, and how do you think your sort of perspectives on leadership within OWWA changed during those years on the board?
Even yeah. So my perspectives change. It actually has given me more of renewed self-confidence in myself to lead such a large organization, or to even be a part of it in that aspect. Don't get me wrong, when the first initial fact that you be a director at large for the first 3 years, I actually contemplated, okay, I think it's time to do my term and then let somebody else take over. Just because, again, I didn't think that I didn't see myself as the right candidate to continue moving on. Again, an individual from Northern Ontario, a little bit remoteness, all that other stuff that all those scenarios ran through my head. But that opportunity came along, and I took it as an opportunity to be like, it's a sign to keep going. So I 2 feet in and just continue to pursue that role. And again, I never doubted any minute of it, and had a blast ever since. So
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to have you on the board, and we've accomplished a lot in that time. Can you share with our listeners, like, what are some of the highlights from your year as president? And are there any particular initiatives or moments or relationships that stand out?
the one most recently was really making an effort to engage with the membership. I really pride myself on that. I thought it was a great opportunity to really understand and see how a lot of the committees operated, a lot of the members involved with it, the passion that they put into it. There's a reason why everybody volunteers their time into being on these committees, because again, everybody's got the like passion. Everybody wants to really do well in the industry. Yes, everybody wants to establish their careers as well, but everybody is well versed in what they do and what they know, and it's great to see, and it just supports the path that I've taken as well, just to kind of see, hey, this is why we're in this. This is why we're in the industry. And it was great to hear everybody else's stories as well, as an opportunity to share my story, and to provide that mentorship to some of the other individuals that have reached out and asked for further career advice or anything else, just to keep going. So that is one of my biggest highlights, being on the board and acting as president for the year. So
Yeah, I think you're a great ambassador for our organization. And so I encourage anybody who's interested in running for the board to talk to Scott and get his insights about the good and the bad, or I should say the good and the not so good. But um, getting back to some of the more industry focused questions that we had for you. And I know you've had a chance to be involved with our advocacy steering committee over the last year and a bit or so. And so maybe drawing on your own experience in your sort of day job with Timmins and also some of the work the association's doing, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing our sector over the next decade?
I think for us in the water industry is just to continue to establish the importance of what we all do, the importance of growth to help drive the industry as well, and drive growth in all aspects of everything, like with including municipal growth, personal growth. So again, how do we do that? We need to advocate for the importance of safe drinking water, the importance of treating drinking water, and everything that comes with it. So, um, and again, this is something where I always strive and always tell individuals that yes, they all play a key part in this intricate game and gear and motor that we operate in this industry. That it's very important, and this is how we have to drive it, and we have to let everybody else remind everybody that this is the importance that we bring to the table.
Yeah. And on a flip side to that, what are you optimistic about, or what makes you excited about the future of the water industry in Ontario?
It's going to be the creativity and innovation from younger generations coming up. That's what's really going to drive it. I see a lot of bright individuals coming up through the industry. I've had an opportunity to talk to a lot of our YP uh, committee members, and there's a passion there that you don't want to see extinguished, and you just want to see that creativity, because creativity brings inclusion, and then that's how we're going to continue to grow as well as an industry. So
Yeah, thinking about those younger professionals, this is my last question, the scripted question, but what advice would you give to someone who's new in the water world and who's just starting out in their career?
don't be shy to take risks is a part of everyday life. Don't be hesitant. Jump 2 feet in. There's no regrets in anything you do. Everything's at your fingertips. It's an industry where we don't allow each other to fail, and there's always help out there within the industry through all means. Again, through myself, through any board member, through yourself and your staff as well. Like, we're there to support each other. We all want to see this industry thrive, and we want to see individuals grow throughout. And again, if we have an opportunity to be a part of the individual's career development, I think that's a great success story across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, I'll give a quick shout out to the Young Professionals Committee. And so if you are new to the industry and you're interested in meeting some of your peers, please check out our website at OWWA.ca and have a look at that Young Professionals Committee and the events page to see what's coming up in your area shortly. Well, with that, Scott, I think I'm going to say thank you so much for joining me today. I think your leadership, both within our organization and at the City of Timmins, has been a real, you're like a rock. You're the Northern Ontario rock of the OWWA. And I hope that you can serve as an example that will inspire others who maybe feel they're a little too far removed from the GTA, and show that that participation is still really possible and obviously of huge benefit to our organization. And so I want to thank you for sharing your story with our listeners. And to the podcast listeners, thanks again for tuning in to What You Need to H2Know. If you like this episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your colleagues. And until next time, stay connected, stay curious, and keep the water flowing.